Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with an important topic from English grammar, chapter 9, conjunction. Let's see the definition of the conjunction. A conjunction is a word that joins two words, phrases or clauses. The conjunction are used to join two words, two phrases or two clauses even we are telling sentences. Let's see a few examples. The first one, 2 and 2 makes 4. Can you identify the conjunction here? Yes, it is and. Here the conjunction and is used to join two words, 2, 2. Look at the example, second one. My room key is either on the table or in the bag. Can you identify the conjunction here? Yes, it is either or. This is a pairs of conjunction. This works as a team or this goes together. So here the conjunction is used to join two phrases. The first one is on the table. The second one is in the bag. Look at the example, third one. They rushed to the hospital but they were too late. Can you identify the conjunction here? Yes, it is but. So we have to understand one important thing here. Here the conjunction but is used to join two clauses. So we have already discussed clause. Clause means it's a part of the sentence and it can stand by itself and give a proper sense. A phrase is not giving a proper sense, but it is a part of the sentence and it cannot stand by itself and cannot give a proper sense. But at the same time, clause can give proper sense and it is a part of the sentence and it can stand by itself. So look at the example, third one. They rushed to the hospital but they were too late. Here the sentence is made up of two clauses. The first one is they rushed to the hospital. The second one is they were too late. Both the clauses are meaningful and giving sense. So these both clauses are connected by the conjunction but. So in these three ways we can connect the conjunctions with the other words. To connect or to join two words, two phrases or two clauses, we can use the conjunction. So here we are going to study three types of conjunction. The first one is coordinating conjunctions. The second one is subordinating conjunctions. And the third one is correlative conjunctions. So these three types of conjunctions we are just going to study in this video. Let's see the first one, coordinating conjunctions. Coordinating conjunctions always come between the words or phrases or clauses that they join. Understand the definition? It always comes between the words or between the phrases or between clauses. So what all the conjunction we are using as a coordinating conjunctions is written below. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. So to remember this conjunction we can just tell it as fanboys. Fanboys means F stands for, A stands for and, N stands for nor, B stands for but, O stands for or, Y stands for yet, and S stands for so. To remember the coordinating conjunctions, we need to remember fanboys. If we remember fanboys, definitely we can able to identify or we can able to understand the conjunctions which we are using as a coordinating conjunctions. Let's study it very detailedly what are coordinating conjunctions and its usages. The first one is for. Presents reason. For presents reason. Example, I have to find a new job for I am unemployed. So here the two parts of the sentence are joined by the coordinating conjunction for. So for is the coordinating conjunction used here to join two parts. So we have to understand an important rule here. Here the two parts are two independent clauses. So independent clauses means it's a part of the sentence and can stand by itself and give complete sense. So here the first independent clause is I have to find a new job. It can stand by itself and we are getting a complete sense. And second independent clause is I am unemployed. I am unemployed also is a complete meaning, giving complete meaning or complete sense. So there are two independent clauses in this sentence, and two independent clauses are connected by the coordinating conjunction for. So we have to remember important rule when we connect two independent clauses. If we connect two independent clauses with the conjunction, with the coordinating conjunction, we have to always use a comma after the first independent clause. It's an important rule, the usages of comma. Always use a comma after the first independent clause or just before the conjunction. That is an important rule. Let's see the second one. And used to show addition, presents ideas that are similar. Example, I am a husband and father. Can you identify the conjunction here? Yes, it is and. Here the conjunction is used to join two words, husband, father. This we can tell as a noun phrase. Can you just tell that why I didn't use comma here? Because when the conjunction is joining two words or two phrases, we don't use comma. We use comma only the conjunction which joins two independent clauses. As just I told in the first sentence, I have to find a new job is the first independent clause. I am unemployed is the second independent clause. So when we join two independent clause in a sentence with the conjunction, with the coordinating conjunction, always use a comma after the first independent clause or before the conjunction. Otherwise, to join two words or to join two phrases, we don't use comma. Let's see the third one. Nor presents a negative idea with another. Example, I can't whistle nor can I sing. So here also two independent clauses are joined by the coordinating conjunction nor. That's why we have used comma after the first independent clause. I can't whistle is the first independent clause. That's why I used comma, and can I sing in the second independent clause. The fourth one, but presents ideas that are opposite. Example, I ordered a watch 3 weeks ago but still haven't received it. Can you identify the conjunction here? Yes, it is but. Please note here, I ordered a watch 3 weeks ago but still haven't received it. In this example, there is no comma. Why there is no comma? Can you just identify, or can you just tell why there is no comma? The reason is this. Here in the sentence, there is only one clause. I ordered a watch 3 weeks ago is the clause, and still haven't received it is not a clause, it's a phrase. So here one clause and one phrase is used there, that's why no comma. So remember that we want to use comma is the means if there are two clauses in a sentence, if there are two independent clauses in a sentence, we use comma after the first independent clause or before the conjunction. If conjunctions are connected by two words or two phrases or one clause or one phrase, no comma. Let's see the fifth one. Or shows an option or choice. Example, which color do you like, red or blue? Here the conjunction is or. It's connecting two noun phrases, red, blue, so no comma. Sixth one, yet presents an outcome or result. Example, the weather was very cold, yet we played in the yard. Can you identify the conjunction here? Yes, it is yet. And there is a usage of comma. Why there is a usage of comma? Can you just tell? Yes, it is the reason the weather was very cold, comma, yet we played in the yard. Because this sentence is made up of two independent clauses. The first independent clause is the weather was very cold, and the second independent clause is we played in the yard. So when we use two independent clauses or when we join two independent clauses with the help of coordinating conjunction, always use a comma just after the first independent clause or before the conjunction. Let's see the seventh one. So presents a consequence or result. She was sick, so she couldn't attend the meeting. So I just repeat that. Two independent clauses are used here. So use a comma after the first independent clause. She was sick is the first independent clause. Then the conjunction so. Then the second independent clause, she couldn't attend the meeting. So remember, when we use coordinating conjunctions, if there are two independent clauses, use a comma after the first independent clause or before the conjunction. And if the conjunctions are using to joining two words or two phrases or one clause or one phrase, remember, no comma. This is an important rule. Don't forget it. Let's see the second one, subordinating conjunctions. A subordinating conjunction is a word that connects an independent clause to a dependent clause. So the duty or the role of subordinating conjunction is to connect independent clause to dependent clause. We have already discussed what is an independent clause. Independent clause can stand alone as itself and give complete sense. But dependent clause cannot stand by itself and it cannot give a proper sense. So it is always dependent. That's why it is called dependent clause, or we can just tell as a subordinating clause. To help or to support the subordinating clause, we are just using subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions are just like because, although, so that, after, before, if, whether, unless, until, etc. Let's see a few examples to make it clear. The first one, I have written two parts for the examples. There are two parts for the first example as well as there are two parts for the second example. Let's deal it very clearly. The first one, listen. After they pass the town, they must turn to the left. Now we are telling subordinating conjunction. After they pass the town, they must turn to the left. Can you identify the conjunction here? Yes, it is after. After they pass the town, they must turn to the left. Here, they must turn to the left is the independent clause here because it can stand by itself. They must turn to the left. We are getting a complete sense. But after they pass the town, what happened? There is a question. So it's not completed. So after they pass the town is a clause. We are just giving the category of dependent clause. So it is always dependent to the independent clause. So after they pass the town is the dependent clause here because it's not giving a complete sense, and they must turn to the left is the independent clause. Just I have rewritten the sentence down with a small change. They must turn to the left after they pass the town. They must turn to the left is the independent clause. After they pass the town is the dependent clause. So here in the first sentence, after they pass the town is the dependent clause and they must turn to the left is the independent clause. So when we use subordinating conjunction, if dependent clause come first, we have to always use a comma after it. And then the independent clause, just like after they pass the town is the dependent clause, so comma, they must turn to the left. Then look at down, they must turn to the left after they pass the town. If we use independent clause first, then no comma after they pass the town. So then the conjunction comes in between two clauses. So if we use dependent clause first, we use comma after the dependent clause, then we use independent clause. Look at the example, second one. They will not pass the math exam unless they work harder. Here they will not pass the math exam is a independent clause because it can stand by itself and giving a proper sense. Unless they work harder is not giving a proper sense, so it's a dependent clause. And I did not use comma here. They will not pass the math exam unless they work harder because here the independent clause is used first. So when we use independent clause first, we don't use comma. Here the conjunction comes in between clauses. At the same time, unless they work harder, comma, they will not pass the math exam. Here the usages of comma is there because why I use the comma here means here the first one is dependent clause. Unless they work harder is the dependent clause. Then the second comes the independent clause. They will not pass the math exam. So remember, when we use dependent clause first, always use a comma after it. And if we use independent clause first, no comma. Let's see the third one. I am staying in because it's snowing. Can you identify the conjunction here? Yes, it is because. It is an example of subordinating conjunction. I am staying in because it's snowing. There is no comma because it is used. The first one is independent clause. Because it's snowing, I am staying in. Dependent clause is used first. That's why comma is used there after the dependent clause, then the independent clause. Let's see the fourth one. Before we go to the bed, we will wash our feet first. So can you identify the conjunction here? Yeah, it is before. So before we go to the bed, comma, we will wash our feet first. So here comma is used after the dependent clause because the dependent clause comes first. The independent clause comes second. That's why after the dependent clause we used comma here as per the rule of English. We will wash our feet first before we go to the bed. So here we will wash our feet first is the independent clause, so no comma. So remember, if we use dependent clause first, use a comma after it, and if we use independent clause first, there is no comma. This is an important rule. Don't forget it when we use conjunctions. Now let us come to the third one, correlative conjunctions. Correlative conjunctions come in pairs and each pair works as a team. So these conjunctions comes in a pair. This conjunction comes in pairs because they always work together and they goes together. Example, both and, either or, neither nor, not only but also, whether or. Here we can see few examples, and here there are no rules relating to the correlative conjunction, so we will just discuss only the examples. I will either do my job or leave the company. She is not only pretty but also extremely smart. You must make a decision whether to stay or to go. The company deals in both hardware and software. So these are the examples which we just discussed as a correlative conjunction. And don't forget it, the use of coordinating conjunction, the use of subordinating conjunction, and the use of correlative conjunction, and the rules which we have to follow for each types of conjunction. It's very important. Now let us see some practice work at home. Identify the conjunctions and the types of conjunction in the following sentences. The first one, she bought a shirt and a book. He sings songs because he wants to become a singer. You cannot succeed unless you work sincerely. He may buy either a laptop or a camera. She is interested not only in singing but also in games. I waited for him but he didn't come. Although it is raining, it's too hot today. She likes neither tea nor coffee. He says nice words, yet you don't trust him. My daughter is very smart, so everybody likes her. Michael can both read and write. I will send you a map so that you can find the place more easily. So these are the 12 sentences. Please just identify the conjunctions and the types of conjunction in the sentences. I hope you understood this class. Thank you.